The Appointments Committee is sitting. We understand that the Minister designates for Communications, Technology and Digital Innovation, Sam Nate George, is currently seated before the committee. And so let's go and witness his vetting.
Ranking member on the Communication Select Committee. In 2024, I once again run for office as on the ticket of the NDC as Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram, and was returned to Parliament to join this night Parliament. I'm married to my lovely wife, Vera. We have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. I'm a charismatic Christian. I worship at Parish Chapel International, and I happen to be an elder of the church. And for me, technology, cars, and computers are my hobbies, are the things I love the most. And in my spare time, I play FIFA24 on my PS4. I'm a lifelong Hearts of Oak fan and Arsenal Football Club supporter. Mr. Chairman, I think that the last thing I'll say is that until my nomination by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, a day to my 40th birthday, I used to be the Secretary General of the African Parliamentary Network on Internet Governance, which is a network of parliamentarians across the African continent pursuing internet governance. And so I sit before you because I got the honor and privilege of a fantastic 40th birthday gift from His Excellency the President of Ghana as a nominee, or his nominee, to the Ministry of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations. I thank you.
Thank you very much. We are going to start with a question, obviously from the subject matter area, Order 2175. So we'll start with, from my left, I'll start with Honorable Isaac Boamanyakun. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations, nominee. I've known you for quite a while. When we both undertook the University of Law LLB program. So it's University of London Law. Yes, we did the LLB together. So, nominee, my first question to you, if you look at the cost of calling in Ghana, on our mobile networks, when you compare the cost to other West African countries and other jurisdictions like you find out that the cost of calls in Ghana is very, very high. What are you going to do as the Minister of Communication to bring down the cost of calling in Ghana? Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. When it comes to voice calls, I believe that that is a part of the market that is in decline, has been in decline over the past decade with the rise of data calls and voice over IP calls. However, still call volumes make a critical mass of the revenue for MNOs. It's important to place it in perspective that when you talk about the cost of calls and you equate it to the European market or the North American market, those markets are very well matured, and the infrastructure that supports the core business of running an MNO are in a position to support lower prices. However, when you look across the African continent, it is safe to say that prices of voice calls in Ghana are competitive relative to other African countries. And so we'll continue to work with stakeholders and the regulator to see how well we can continue to drive prices down using regulation in a way that makes the businesses sustainable and does not kill the investments of MNOs in the sector. I thank you, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, a follow-up on this particular one, yes. Ghanaians have had concerns in terms of, again, the cost and the treatment that they receive from the telephony group. You make a call and they tell you the call is out of coverage area, the number you are calling cannot be reached when the person is right in distance with you. When you put all of these together and the cost that one needs to pay for such services, what are you going to do as a minister to assure Ghanaians that whatever cost we incur in these service areas receive the needed benefits of those calls?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Once again, on the issue of voice calls, I think that the real issue with voice calls is not necessarily the cost, if I understand the market. It's what you've just pointed out in your follow-up, the quality of service. That's where consumers and customers have a problem, and that's where we all face the challenge, where you're making calls and the rate of call drops and call failures are extremely high. I agree with you that there is work that needs to be done from the ministry by way of policy through the regulator, the National Communications Authority, to ensure that the KPIs for the MNOs and service providers is enhanced, and that we ensure strict adherence to it. If you set the KPI is low, every MNO is going to pass it. But the question is, are we having the real consumer experience that citizens have to have? As Minister Designate, I think no. I think that there's a lot of work that the telcos have to do. Government also has to do some work, because for you to get better quality of experience, you need to allocate more spectrum to the MNOs. So as Minister Designate, if approved by this House and I become the minister, one of the things we'll work with the regulators to do is to make more spectrum available to the MNOs. However, we'll be raising the KPIs and ensuring that the standards are met. And I will not be a minister who will be afraid to impose fines on MNOs who fail to meet the quality of service. Ghanaians deserve the best quality of service. And we would crack the whip where necessary, but we would also support the MNOs to ensure that they get what is needed to provide us the best quality of service. I thank you.
Thank you very much, nominee. My second question, Mr. Chairman, sits around the emerging issue of cybersecurity threat that we face as a country. In Ghana, a couple of our institutions have received cyber attacks, and its consequences on the nation is very dire. When you check the cost of cybersecurity...
Please, Chairman, I want to draw your attention that this